Hey guys, Boris here. Welcome to another fun, exciting video because we have a really big thing going on. And Niantic finally announced what the February Community Day is going to be. And today we're going to talk about this guy right here, Swinub. Saturday, February 16th from 1 to 4 p.m. CST, Central Time here locally. Of course, your time zone may vary. We are getting this guy. More of you probably care about the fact you're getting this guy. Shiny Swinub, of course, is a staple for Community Day. We always end up getting those shinies. Is models there just so you can get a good idea kind of what you're looking at. What are we getting for this Community Day outside of Swinub? 3-hour lures, of course. We are also getting triple stardust. Get those star pieces ready if you have them spare. Hang on to those because triple stardust during a Community Day event like that is huge. Which, you're going to want to stock up on that. You're also going to want to make sure you have plenty of Great Balls and Ultra Balls because Swinub does have a notoriously fairly low catch rate. So definitely having those better balls available are going to help you kind of speed up the process of catching them, let you really make the most out of everything. But in addition to that, we actually have PvP related rewards in play. You actually, during the weekend, we haven't gotten full clarification from Niantic, but I would anticipate Saturday and Sunday are impacted by this. You will actually be able to get 5 rewards per day from PvP battles. Normal limit's 3, so you're getting an extra 2 chances for PvP rewards. Right now, if you're not familiar with what the reward ratios are, you're looking at about 75% chance of 500 Stardust, you're looking at a 12.5% chance of a rare candy and a 12.5% chance of a Sinnoh Stone, and then there is a small percent chance that you actually get a double reward from that. More significantly, though, in the in-game announcement, Niantic actually talked about how specifically calling out how you will have up to 5 chances to get Sinnoh Stones. You know, the way they word the announcement reads as though we will probably see some type of odds buff of getting Sinnoh Stones from your daily rewards from PvP, but that hasn't been confirmed yet. More information probably will be coming out more later on. At the worst case scenario, we should know more probably Saturday morning, especially as we get to where Europe and Africa start their community day window, since they will actually have theirs before North America. So, more info to come on that, but definitely exciting because you will have more chances to get Sinnoh Stones that weekend. And, you're going to need them because of this guy here, or Mamoswine. We are finally getting Swinub's final evolution unlock. Expect it to cost 100 candies, and it will also require a Sinnoh Stone. That part actually surprised me a little bit. The first wave of Gen 4 evolutions that we got, it made sense to have an item evolution for because they are ones that require different items in the mainline games. And Mamoswine, for those who are not familiar with it, actually in the main games evolves from Piloswine knowing Ancient Power, because that's not currently in Swinub and Piloswine's move pool. Everyone kind of wondered how they were going to handle that. Looks like they're just actually going to merge those in with the item evolutions, unfortunately. That said, we know how to get Sinnoh Stones. We have plenty of advanced notice you can start saving up. Definitely, I would because Mamoswine is going to be very big news, and we'll talk a little bit more about it in a bit. Because you're also going to want to get that guy, I, shiny Mamoswine. You have a little bit of a color difference, maybe not quite as dramatic as Swinub's color differences, but definitely it is a shiny that is still noticeable. So, exciting shiny there, but really more impactful is going to be how this impacts the game, because this is actually going to be a very, very relevant community day if you're looking at both PvE, gyms, raids, everything like that, and then also PvP be potentially impacted by this one as well. You know, let's take a look at Mamoswine here. Or Mamoswine, mm, you know, very elite level ice ground type Pokemon. you're looking at the new number one ice type DPS king, and it actually has a lot more bulk than a lot of your other high damage ice types do. So it's going to do, in addition to doing more damage faster, this is one that actually will do much more damage overall, even though its weakness is its defense stat. You know, what are we looking at for moveset? You know, biggest thing with it is it actually has access to Avalanche, which is by and far the best ice type move. It's going to actually outdo Blizzard. It's going to charge faster in PvP than Blizzard. Just overall, it's the one you want to go with. So that's how it compares on ice. How does it compare on ground? Well, ground for now, probably for a very short time, it's actually right now going to be your number two damage per second ground type. It definitely is a little bit behind Groudon, and eventually it will be passed up by Garchomp when we do get Geibel and that line in, but we don't really have a good understanding about when we might see that line, but we do know that it will be coming at some point here along with the rest of the unreleased Gen 4. So, looking at this, the real question is going to be what move they give it. You know, there's definitely a few things they could do there. The problem is a few of the obvious choices actually would be downgrades for it. Blizzard would actually be a downgrade compared to Avalanche. They could give it Earthquake, which would be better for PvP, but it would actually be worse overall for PvE, so for raids and everything like that. It would actually do a little bit less, not by a lot. It's a very close matchup there, but it's one of those things where Earthquake wouldn't be an instant upgrade in all accounts like people might hope. You know, the other potential option as far as existing moves, they could give it Ancient Power, the move that actually needs to evolve in the mainline games. The problem is, what is an ice ground type going to do with a rock type attack? Mamoswine does actually already have a rock type attack in its arsenal with Stone Edge, but there is absolutely no reason why you would want it because it's going to be far less impactful than any other move in its set. So, you know, we could see Ancient Power in just to pay homage to the way it evolves that they opted not to go with in Pokemon Go. But, I think a lot of people would probably end up being disappointed by that one because it would be giving a very big meta relevant Pokemon something that's essentially useless for it. But with that in mind, what could they possibly give this that would make this an even more desirable Pokemon? With that, we'd probably have to look to a couple moves that aren't actually in Pokemon Go yet, or maybe have move assets in there but just are not actually assigned to anything, and we don't even actually know the stats of yet. And that would be moves such as Icicle Crash and Earth Power. You know, of the two, you know, both could be intriguing. If they do put in either of these as the Community Day move, it will probably be as a move that's on par with what we see the starters get with Frenzy Plant, Hydro Cannon, Blast Burn. If they do give it Icicle Crash and they do make that a little bit more in line with what those moves are, then suddenly you have a Pokemon that would allow you, if you have a good enough team of them, to actually solo Rayquaza without Weather Boost. So you would be looking at being able to solo a legendary raid, uh, just hanging out by yourself with your trusty Mamoswine team. You know, I could see some really excited about that. I could definitely see some arguments why that would be a bad idea. A lot of people are already a little bit concerned with the fact that with the rebalance and with how they rework stats and with how they rework damage dealt as far as your super effectives and not very effectives. Some people are concerned that raiding is becoming increasingly more of a solo game, and it goes against the getting together, it goes against the community and working together that raids originally were supposed to be. So, I can see both sides of that argument. On the flip side, Earth Power, if they give it Earth Power and it has as the stats similar to what we see the starters get, you have another incredibly powerful ground type, and you actually have something that, because of ease of candy and everything else, actually puts up a legitimate threat against Groudon for ground types you'd want to use on things. I could see where that could be both a good thing and also probably anger some people who have been out raiding and farming Groudon this week. So we'll see how that goes. You know, I'm excited about this one. Swinub is one that some people thought we could see a community day on. Most people really thought we would actually see something more like Ralts or Bagon or maybe Trapinch for February. But the fact that they did throw that fastball, they threw that wrench into everything. They threw it in very surprisingly, and this is something that obviously has been planned for a while. And I feel like the fact that they made Community Day that weekend was planned because that's about the right time frame that we would expect to see some type of event for the Lunar New Year, similar to how in the year the dog won last year, we got Shiny Poochyena. You know, this coming year is the year of the pig. Swinub made sense as far as one that they could add the shiny for and tie in with the event. With the fact that they made it community to do that, though, definitely leaves open for if they do decide to do a wider event for the Lunar New Year, we might also expect to see shiny Sproink and Grumpig during the month of February, so we'll see how that goes. You know, this is one I'm excited about. This is one that is potentially your go-to Pokemon for one or two different types. It's really not going to be challenged on Ice type in the foreseeable future, so you're going to want a good team of these guys. Even if you're not using them for ground types, you're going to be using them for Ice types, especially because we have yet to see a return for Rayquaza. So we know at some point in some form Rayquaza will be back. And you're going to want this guy on your team for that because this guy is going to make very short work of Rayquaza raid bosses. Like I mentioned, even if they don't give it Icicle Crash with a Community Day type spin moveset stats, you're looking at even with its current moveset, with the right weather can still solo Rayquaza, just is a very difficult solo, and you do have to have weather boost. And then outside of that, two best friends duoing Rayquaza with a good team of Mamoswine, absolutely could be able to do that. So we could see a lot more duos oh, attempts at the legendary raids when Rayquaza comes back with this guy in play now. We'll see how that changes the dynamics for raiding. And, I know some people, like I said, some people are going to be thrilled with that. Other people are going to kind of question whether or not it really goes against what Niantic was trying to do with raids. You know, I kind of agree with both, but at the same time, this is a Pokemon that I've been looking forward to for quite a while being added. We've had a lot of people wondering, when are we getting Mamoswine? We have our answer now, and the answer is absolutely awesome. You know, February 16th, 1 to 4 Central. Well, I'm going to be out and about. I'm looking forward to this event. And, I'm looking forward to grinding the Stardust with it because that cannot be understated just how important that's going to be and how increasingly valuable Stardust is. So any of these extra Stardust events you absolutely want to jump on. Make sure you've got your supplies ready in time. Make sure you've got plenty of Pokeballs, Great Balls, Ultra Balls, you know, star pieces, lures for stops, any of that stuff. Get that ready now because once that hits, you're gonna want to hit the ground running for it for sure. You know, I don't want to keep this too long today, but once again, thank you for the support on the channel. Looking forward to seeing how the turnout is because February, probably gonna be cold, but that hasn't stopped us yet. So we'll see how it goes. You guys